All right, so bonjour, chers étudiants. J'espère que vous allez bien. All right, good day, students. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm so happy to join you once again on this online platform. This video lecture is for all students in renewable energy in engineering and environmental engineering. It's for the two of you. So I taught the two of you together. So I tried to prepare something that will be common to all of you. So it's for REE and environmental engineering. So without wasting my time, I would like to share my screen with you so that you can follow along as I lecture. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. Okay, the first thing I'll do is to increase the font, my font, so that you can see clearly what I have here. Okay, so let me make it 18. Voila. Okay. So I guess you can clearly see what is that is projected before you. So in this lecture, we are going to look at énergie renouvelable and les avantages et inconvénients. We are going to look at renewable energy, the advantages and disadvantages. Now, yes, the environmental engineers are saying that this looks more of RE than environmental engineering. The fact is that whatever we are going to discuss has, in one or the other, something to do with environmental engineering. So it has something to do with the environment. So that is the reason why I combined it. Okay, so it is also in your area because you, as we are going along, you see that exactly what I'm talking about, that it's actually for the two areas, all right? So you're not left out. It's part of what you are part of this particular lecture, all right? So let's start. On commence. L'énergie renouvelable, okay? Renewable energy sont une source d'énergie inépuisable. So these are keywords. I'm highlighting the keywords. Ce sont les énergies renouvelables sont une source d'énergie inépuisable. Quand on parle d'une source d'énergie inépuisable, on parle de quoi? What are we talking about? Okay. Energy inépuisable is energy that cannot cannot be used, that cannot be overused, or inépuisable, that cannot finish. It can always be used. Okay, so technically what it's trying to say is that it's a source of energy that is renewable and that cannot end. It can be renewed because it's renewable. It has no it had no expiring date. Okay, you can always renew the energy source as and when you need it. Okay, so the word is l'énergie renouvelable sont une source d'énergie inépuisable. So they are a source of energy that cannot have an end in mind. Okay, disponible à volonté, ces sources sont diverses et variées. This source of energy is very comes from varied sources, different sources, and they are very diverse. Allant du solaire à l'éolien, en passant par les géothermies, okay? So we can have this energy through different sources. First off, from l'énergie solaire, that is the sun energy, the wind energy, éolien, and then geothermic energy. You can have this renewable energy sources from different places, and I've given you a few. The solar energy is one. L'énergie solaire is one. L'énergie éolienne is another one. L'énergie géothermique is another one. So these are all sources of renewable energy that we can have. Okay. So grâce à ces énergies, thanks to these energy, peu pollutantes. So we say this energy are peu pollutant because they exude less pollution. Okay. Most of the energies that are at our current disposal, the fossil energy, for instance, gives off a lot of pollution, which is harmful to the environment. So the environmental energy engineering people, this is where you come in. So a lot of the current fossil energies or current energies that we use for our cars, for the fuel for our cars and for other things, petroleum product, it gives us a lot of pollutant, or it comes with a lot of pollutant, which destroys the environment. So these renewable energy sources comes with very little pollutant. It comes with very little pollution to the environment. So it's very important for you to know that these are some of the advantages, ce sont des avantages de l'énergie renouvelable. All right? Grâce à ces énergies peu polluantes, on peut envisager un système de production énergétique prolifique, plus respectueux de la nature. So thanks to these renewable energies, we can actually look forward to a production system that is more friendly and more respecting to nature. All right? Si l'énergie renouvelable possède de nombreux avantages, on ressent également quelques inconvénients et l'exploitation. Obviously, everything that has some advantages obviously has some disadvantages. So the energy renewable, even though it has massive advantages, it also has some disadvantages. And some of the disadvantages, I can say them offhand, it's quite expensive to produce, okay? C'est très cher pour produire, okay? Pour développer, pour cultiver, pour produire en fait. C'est un peu cher. Ce n'est pas un peu cher, mais c'est très cher. Donc, si vous n'avez pas les moyens, if you don't have the means to produce it, it is very difficult to produce and it's very difficult to come by. And as a result, a lot of people do not want to use it, because to use it, to tap into the solar energy, you have to get solar panels, and solar panels are quite expensive. And so these are some of the inconveniences of renewable energy. But obviously, I know that as due to research and development, the cost of managing these things will reduce with respect to time. Okay, let's look at les avantages de sources d'énergie renouvelable. Let's look at some of the advantages. De manière générale, les énergies renouvelables sont plus propres. They are clean. Ils sont plus propres. Okay, ils sont plus propres. They are clean energies. Okay, they are very clean. Okay, by clean energies, they don't give off a lot of pollutants. Okay, donc de manière générale, les énergies renouvelables sont plus propres que les énergies fossiles. L'énergie fossile or fissile are fossil energies. For example, petroleum products, fuel that we use for our cars. These are energies that are very unclean. Anytime a car moves, pollutes the environment, affects our health. But unlike these renewable energies, they are very clean, they are safe for our health, they are safe for the environment. So hence they are clean energies, or not, they are not polluted energies, okay? Elles sont plus écologiques. Elles sont plus écologiques, disponibles en masse, and it is also environmental friendly. They are environmental friendly, and it's also available to a lot of people around the world. For example, and it's in free quantities. It's in free quantities, meaning, for example, the sun is available to everybody that sees the sun. And so you can tap the sun energy and use it as and when you want it, and it's free. C'est gratuit. So when we say c'est gratuit, it's not gratuit, it means it's free, all right? So une fois l'installation de production rentabilisée, l'énergie éolienne est l'énergie propre par excellence. Wind energy is an excellent energy par excellence. Okay, it's a very excellent energy. Anywhere there's wind, you can tap into the wind energy and use it for whatever you want. Sans rejet ni déchets d'aucune sorte, elle permet avec un bon coefficient de performance d'assurer une bonne indépendance énergétique. Sur terre ou offshore, l'éolien démontre d'excellentes capacités de production et sont une alternative fiable. They are a viable alternative pour les territoires les plus reculés et dont l'accès à l'électricité est difficile. So renewable energies are very viable alternatives for places whereby electricity is difficult to come by. Okay, So in the places whereby they cannot get access to electricity, the renewable energy comes in handy. They can tap the power of the wind, the power of the sun to generate light and other sources of energy. Okay, so let's go on. L'énergie biomass is another type of energy, est liée à la combustion du bois. So biomass is linked to the combustion du bois. Combustion is the spark of wood and wood fire. Okay, wood fire. Le bois est un combustible très présent. Wood is actually a combustible object. Where fire is, you don't add wood to it because it's highly combustible and it can spark fire at any moment, at any time. Okay. Le bois est un combustible très présent, notamment en France où il est largement implanté. Okay. So in France, you have a lot of trees planted. So it is highly that you realize that a lot of places where we have bushfires is partly because there are a lot of forests. All right. So that's why we say le bois est très combustible. Okay, because it's easy for it to catch fire. All right. Si cette énergie rejette toutes les mêmes des gaz en effet de serre, les rejets sont moindres par rapport à la quantité de CO2, hein, CO2, car un arbre aura absorbé un cours de sa vie. Un forêt bien gérée et renouvelée permet de ne pas épuiser les réserves en bois. Okay, épuiser means to that a forest that is well regulated, well protected, is necessary to prevent bushfires or to preserve the trees and the wood in the forest. So even though biomass can produce fire, but where it is well regulated and well protected, the fires can be or the forest can be protected from these biomass sources. Okay. La biomasse est donc une énergie qui participe au développement local tout en étant très bon marché. OK? L'énergie solaire est largement plébiscitée dans les secteurs énergétiques et se développe à une grande vitesse. Production d'électricité grâce au photovoltaïque. Okay? So, l'énergie solaire, which is the solar energy, can be used to produce electricity grâce au photovoltaïque because of its photovoltaic element. So if I ask you that the production of electricity, solar energy can be used to produce energy grâce au photovoltaic, its photovoltaic properties. Okay, that is how you can use the sun energy to produce light. Mais aussi des chauffages grâce aux panneaux solaires thermiques. Okay, also you can use it to produce electricity through the heat energy that is absorbed through the solar panels. Okay, on our roofs, you can use it to generate electricity that way. Le solaire peut être exploité à grande échelle dans des parcs prévus à cet effet ou à petite échelle chez les particuliers. So sun, wherever there is sun, you can harvest it and use it for this purpose. Même si les panneaux solaires possèdent un meilleur rendement en zone très ensoleillée, ok, ensoleillée. So même si les panneaux solaires possèdent un meilleur rendement en zone très ensoleillée, where the place is sunny, you can use the solar panel terminals to absorb heat, which can be used to generate electricity to power any place you want. Okay. Now let's look at some inconveniences of the renewable energy. Comme pour chaque chose, just like everything, for everything, the renewable energy ont également les petits défauts. They also have some inconveniences or some disadvantages. On notera en priorité un coût relatif important à l'achat des installations dont la rentabilité peut se faire attendre des années. As I said in the beginning of this lecture, I told you that one of the key disadvantages of the renewable energy is the fact that it is expensive, c'est cher, c'est trop cher. Donc, bien que c'est rentable, it's profitable, mais c'est cher. Okay, so one of the key disadvantage of renewable energy is that it is quite expensive. And if you don't have the means to be able to generate it and be able to install solar panels, you're not going to generate light into your place. Okay. Unlike general electricity, which is open to all, renewable energy is quite expensive to operate, it's quite expensive to use, and this is one of the big disadvantages of renewable energy. De plus, la plupart de ces énergies vertes sont sujettes aux caprices des dames nature. En effet, des journées sans vent ou sans grande luminosité peuvent contrarier fortement la production d'éoliennes ou du soleil. Obviously, when the sun goes down, or time comes when there's no wind, these are the natural sources for the light. So if the sun goes down, or if there's no sun, what happens? What happens is that it can affect the production of the energy. The energy source reduces. And obviously, when there's no wind, it affects production, the energy source reduces. And these are some of the disadvantages. If there's no sun, if it's raining, what happens? You don't have the natural source produce light. Yes, even though these sources can be stored, the question is for how long. So if it cannot be stored for long, means that whenever there's no sun, you don't have the constant supply of energy, and as a result, it can affect production of this energy. So that's another disadvantage of the renewable energy. So to put it in French, you say that faute de l'énergie solaire ou de l'énergie éolienne, c'est difficile de continuer avec la production de cette énergie parce que si la saison change, si la saison change, on ne peut pas avoir les sources de production. We cannot have the source of production, and as a result, you cannot maintain the production. All right. So now let's look at certain types of renewable energy. So as I said, we have l'énergie solaire. Under energy solaire, we have energy solaire photovoltaic, which is usually used in producing electricity. And then we have energy solaire thermique basse température and energy solaire thermique haute température. So we have different types of energy solaire. We have energy solaire thermique basse température and then energy solaire thermique haute température. And I also have the energy éolienne, the wind energy. We have energy hydraulic energy, grand hydraulique, big hydraulics, petit hydraulique, and so on and so forth. We also have energy marine energy. And then finally, we have la biomasse. We have bois energy, energy de bois, that is wood energy, la biogas, biogas, le biocarburant, okay, biofuels, fuels, and so on and so forth. And then we also have the geothermic energy, which the whole energy, renewable energy falls under. So geothermic energy is actually renewable energy, as it's called. It's another name for renewable energy. All right. So in brief, this is what I would want to present to you for your technical area. It's very short, it's very precise, it's straight to the point, and I believe you wouldn't have any problem with it at all, especially for the brevity of it. Okay. So I wish you all the best in your final exams. I hope this serves you well. As always, the structure of the exams is as follows. Obviously, you know about the listening comprehension, which is 10 marks, which I've always told you that there's a strategy to succeeding in this this orals. The fact is that you need to be able to read the questions. So if the questions are given to you, what you need to do is to be able to read as many times as possible. Il faut lire à plusieurs reprises les questions. There are 10 questions. You have to read à plusieurs reprises and memorize les questions. Have the questions in mind. And so that when the audio is being played, it is not a moment for you to start reading. It is a moment for you to pay attention to the audio. And because you have already read the questions, it will be easier for you to listen. You can't do two things at the same time. And that is why je vous conseille, I advise you to read the questions first and then pay attention to the audio. If you're able to do that, it will be easy for you. Je vous assure. Je vous assure. I can assure you that if you're able to follow this principle, it will work for you. All right. So after the listening comprehension, you also have the section B, which is the the written comprehension, which you have to read the tests and answer a few questions. And then you also have the lexical structure and vocabulary, where you have to use the vocabulary that has been learned throughout the semester to answer some questions. And then you also have the grammar part. Obviously, this semester we looked at 2 tenses, which is the passé composé and then the imparfait. So if you know how to use these grammatical sentences, it will serve you better. And then obviously we also have the production écrite or expression écrite, which is written production or written expression, which gives you the opportunity to express yourself using the things that we have done. This semester we've looked at 3 main topics. We've looked at the CV, how to write it. We've also looked at how to look for a job, je cherche un emploi. We've also looked at je passe un entretien, how to pass an interview. We've also looked at mon premier jour en entreprise, my first day at work. So all these things, anything that can come or that will come under these topics, you should be able to handle it safely. And obviously, the last part of the exams, which is the FOS or Français Objectif Spécifique, which is your technical area, which I have just shared with you, is what you have to pay attention to. So when learning, don't just learn one section, try to learn all the sections so that you can be fully prepared for every part of the exams. I wish you all the best in your exams. Je vous souhaite bonne chance et j'espère que vous allez sortir avec succès. Au revoir. Goodbye. See you another time. Bye-bye.